Hello guys, today I'm gonna react to Rubber.
Viewer discretion is advised. As D2 spasms on the ground, his
Alright, immediately on the first 5 seconds we already have chaos.
entire body being overtaken by the sickly tan flesh,
What?
almost entirely after 45 seconds.
Why does bro look like a tree?
D2 is
Now, why the gunshots, bro Chacho?
terminated by a gunshot from D1,
What?
but that did not stop the spread of SCP-610. Hello
Ah yes, a normal Tuesday in the SCP Foundation. Random gunshots everywhere.
everybody, I'm the Rubber.
Alright, we know you're the Rubber. You're the dumb eraser.
Today, we bring you SCP Foundation
We
Key
all know it's Keter, bro.
Your Class Object SCP-610, Part 1. First, let me introduce my buddy, from SCP Animated, Tales from the Foundation.
What? We need Alo or you say to react to his shorts because what is this?
Hi everybody, I'm Dr. K. SCP-610, also known as the flesh that hates, appears to be a contagious skin disease, with symptoms
Nah, that's not a skin disease, that's a controlling disease. You dumb
including rash, itching, and increased skin sensitivity. Within 3 hours, the disease will cause blemishes, resembling heavy scar tissue to form in the chest and arm areas.
Oh my.
Within an additional hour, it will spread to the legs and back, and consuming the victim completely within 5 hours.
Then he will be controlled like Rubber in his Rubber Diary.
Exposure to higher temperatures will vastly decrease the time for the contagion to spread, and complete infections have been recorded occurring in as little as 5 minutes.
Thanks, buddy. After the completion of the infection, the victim's life functions will cease for approximately 3 minutes.
Oh hell no.
After that, they will restart at 2 to 3 times the activity rate of a normal human.
That's what I'm saying.
Following this, the scar tissue on the victims will start to move and grow at a rapid rate.
But Rubber, you were just whiny. Alright, let's see object. No. Never mind. Then we need to react to the flesh that hates humanity.
Normal human features start to disappear at this point, and the path of mutation appears to be largely random. Victims observed in this stage have been recorded as growing 3 or more limbs like arms or legs.
Bro is officially turning into a tree.
The head may become misshapen and elongate or widen out, and parts of the subject may split open from which additional branches of flesh will grow.
Oh no, bro. Rich Love was right. We need to send people into the adoption center.
But the weird thing is, not all subjects appear to progress to the same stage.
Nah, bro. What are these hands?
Gate or widen out, and parts of the subject may split open from which additional branches of flesh will grow. But the weird thing is, not all subjects appear to progress to the same stage. There are 2 types of infected victim.
Alright. I'm literally shaking my teeth right now, IRL. You cannot see my camera, but you can hear it.
One of them will cease moving and place itself in a location and roots itself like a plant. The fleshy growth on the victim will then begin to spread itself across all surrounding objects and consume them. However, this type of infection does not infect living creatures. The other kind of infected victims will immediately seek out aid as natural human impulse, resulting in unintended infection. And those who have lost their human form through the scar tissue phase will actively and aggressively attempt to infect anyone approaching them within an undefined area. If the infected has lost the ability of sight, a range of approximately 30 meters is considered safe.
Alright.
Initial reports of 610 came directly from the Russian government.
At least I am in Morocco. I'm safe.
after reports consisted primarily of disappearances of farmers in the region, followed by the local police, regional police, and a government dispatched agent all failed to report within a 72-hour period. A small military contingent was dispatched to the area.
The military!
And quickly withdrew, at which point the Foundation was contacted to investigate. The area SCP-610 effects are close to Lake Baikal in southern Siberia.
What is... Oh, it's a lake in Siberia. I'm Moroccan, I'm safe.
Areas of known infection are marked on this map. Due to the vast area of infection 610 covers, containment is impossible.
Oh, hell no!
Isolation of the area has proved far more effective, and permission has been granted by the Russian government
Well,
to
I'm not a copy of Rich Love. I just find him funny.
establish a perimeter to keep people out of these areas. Any living thing coming in physical contact with an organism infected with
Is you dumb, bro? Is you dumb?
610 is considered expendable.
Me thinks this guy has an IQ of a microwave.
And is to be immediately terminated and incinerated. Anyone coming within 3 meters of 610 infected life is to immediately withdraw from the area, be isolated from the rest of their team, and subjected to medical examination and observation. Observation of life infected by SCP-610 by staff is impossible. Hence, observations could only be done by using artificial methods, such as remote robots. The data returned from these observations,
So you're using ChatGPT now.
coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread, SCP-610 has resulted in the Keter classification. However,
Not Napoleon! He can't be contained. He needs to be classified Apollyon, not Keter.
so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered a neutralized threat. But after the cavernous areas beneath the infected settlements were discovered during the exploration, the Foundation sent in research personnel for further investigation. There is a total of 5 field exploration logs for both the remote robot and also the human expeditions. The first exploration was done by a small camera-mounted unit known as Herbie. Herbie was dispatched.
But I'm going in mine, and Sam was just spamming bike by Tangier. You guys call the I Spy was my little I song, and it's just some boss music type.
At a safe distance, and directed toward a part of an infected small village, hereafter referred to as Site A. Many of the homes appear to have suffered fire damage, but
Children! Even children?
a fair amount of buildings are still intact. Through the camera feed, it seems that an estimated population of 79 were infected. Immobile infected are included in this number. However, it is difficult to ascertain an exact percentage of mobile versus immobile.
What?
After observing the exterior of the village for 2 hours, Herbie was directed to follow an infected known as Alpha as it entered the home. The home contains multiple visible infected organisms, and Herbie's camera was raised slowly as to not draw attention. Alpha walks around its home multiple times before stopping at another infected, hereafter known as Beta, sitting on a bed.
Which Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. Why am I spamming the Greek alphabet?
Beta is unable to leave the bed for unknown reasons, but is not completely immobile, as it flails its arms in response to the beatings delivered by Alpha. Moments later, a piercing sound explodes from the area around Beta, who then proceeds to project a cloud of unknown matter into the air from its chest cavity. Alpha lingers in the cloud as it floats.
Alright, we need Gamma in here.
Floats in the air around them, slowly descending to the ground. The unknown life form on the table beside Beta begins to twitch in an apparent seizure, and Alpha then laps the room twice more, stopping at each infected organism, but now ignoring Beta. Then Alpha seats itself at the table, reaches out for 3 plates and set it on the table.
Alright, is he gonna eat my dad now?
After the plates are positioned, the facial tendrils extending from Alpha wiggle up and start to coil on each plate, before tearing apart and separating. Alpha then leaves the house. Several minutes later, a group of 6 to 7 infected enter the home.
Anything to sneak in 6-7.
These infected all surround the table, and each takes turn consuming the flesh substance
Holy cannibalism.
left behind by Alpha, pressing it into whatever orifices on their bodies, some under the arms, some into mouths, some into the chest,
Ayo, are they doing freaky?
some behind their backs. Herbie remains here for several more minutes before retracting its camera and leaving. Herbie is then directed to explore a store. Here he finds more infected individuals. A Russian soldier who doesn't seem to be moving, but his eyes are in constant movement, often focusing on Herbie. In the storage area, a large pile of bodies are stacked together. Some pieces of clothing are visible and appear to contain both military garb and everyday clothing. Atop the bodies, an infected sits, appearing to have its lower parts fused to the pile, and with its upper half in a wild...
What? I will play a Vine Woman fast in the editing cycle.
state of flailing and seizure. Approximately every 10 seconds, a burst of spores flies out the top of this infected, which linger in the air. Herbie then leaves the store and passes by the village well, surrounding which are a series of immobile infected, all facing the well.
Holy cow!
The arms of each of these infected individuals are stretched out, one in contact with the next, forming a...
Nah, these are like the kids in my school, where they are just circling around some random dead insects, saying some random ass stuff like, "Holy insect! Grab the insect! Is the insect okay?"
a perfect chain. Suddenly, an infected young girl grabs and stares at Herbie. Its face balloons inside and explodes outward into a series of fleshy flaps that grip Herbie
Rest in peace, Herbie.
draw inside of her. Herbie's video feed terminates here. 5 hours later, Herbie's video feed resumed. Herbie's camera pointed at the village well, with a slimy film which often oozes across the lens. Herbie does not respond to any remote command, but its video jerks back and forth from target to target, zooming in and...
Guys, if you don't understand like this. Yeah, exactly like this, okay?
and out of its own accord. Video feed is cut manually, and all connections to Herbie's unit are ordered erased. The second exploration of SCP-610 happened during construction of the perimeter surrounding SCP-610's containment area. Several Class D personnel were infected. Most of these infected personnel were immediately destroyed with flamethrowers, but a small collection of infected were contained in cold storage units to prolong the progression of infection.
What if one of the infections have a hyperglycemia? So, or known as hyperthermia. I just made the other name up.
In hopes of finding out more information on the origin point of 610, the Foundation sent 3
Hello, D classes. Hi, guys.
infected personnel, D1, D2, and D3, into Site C, with a single video system. Site C is in the same infected village with the Site A mentioned earlier, but different spot. The 3 infected personnel were given 9mm pistols, gasoline, emergency flares, and some food. They were also instructed to observe and avoid interaction with the infected villagers, but if they're attacked by the...
I think I see something behind me.
the infected villager...
Wait, I'm gonna make it go away with my aura. Get away, you biscuit moon. Alright, I got rid of it.
They're allowed to do as much damage to the site as possible while maintaining video feed. As D1, D2, and D3 enter the site, there is a noticeable rise in the temperature, which requires the further shedding of garments. One of them immediately noticed a large number of immobile pylons arrayed around the site, separated by an apparent distance of 5 to 6 meters.
What's my
Each
obsession
pylon
with
appears
this?
to be 2 to 4 infected persons, fused together in one spot. Heat vents out of these pylons, and current belief is that this is an advanced...
Wait, did I? I actually hit my foot. On the broken TV that's on the ground. But I did not break it. It's not broken. It doesn't work. I'm sorry, guys.
stage of SCP-610, terraforming its environment to facilitate spread of itself. D2 begins to seizure after
Bro, really got like treatment.
only a few minutes in Site C. The progression to the scar tissue phase of 610 infection is observed in full course.
Nah.
As D2 spasms on the ground, his entire
Is bro have rabies?
body, large number of immobile pylons.
Shoot!
As perimeter control is relaying new instructions to D1 and D3, video feed shows a flesh-like growth splitting open beneath D2's body,
Oh my!
and a series of ropey tendrils coming from within the gap to pull his corpse inside. This opening closes quickly. Total time elapsed 3 seconds. D1 and D3 quickly proceed to the village center
Wait.
and encounter a sphere suspended by angled supports, comprised of both infected humans and a few
on its own. Alright, 1 minute, guys. I'm gonna pause some recording real quick. Twin, I'm back.
specimens of non-human life forms such as deer and bears. The entire sphere of flesh pulses at roughly a 5-second interval, and with each pulse emits a ring of spore-like material from its equator. This material floats to the ground and it
And I'm God cutting off here. If you want a part 2, like and subscribe. I'm getting scared right now.